Sunday night, Game 3 Western Conference Finals tied at 1. Warriors at home, 7, 226.5 the total. They've won 15 in a row in the playoffs at home. Adjusted series price, Golden State now $3. What Klay Thompson's going to show up, the one who was great in Game 1, who didn't do much in Game 2, and will Steph Curry show up? And they've been hunting him and attacking him on defense as well. It was simple. Supporting cast did not show up in Game 1 for Houston. They were terrific in Game 2. Tucker had 22 points in Game 2 after scoring 1 in Game 1. Ariza had 19 after he was in foul trouble in Game 1. And Gordon had 27 points in the Game 2 win. When you have the opportunity, push the ball. And I thought the Rockets did a good job going up-tempo at times and picking their spots in Game 2. Second quarter was a thing of beauty. As their offense was humming, it was bombs away. Little misleading that they went 16 of 42 from 3, because a lot of those misses were in garbage time when some starters were out and some bad shots as well. But when they were in the flow in the first 3 quarters, they were hitting just about everything. That was the Rockets team we all know and love that won 65 games in the regular season in Game 2.
Yeah. So here's my bold prediction, okay, for Game 3. Eric Gordon will not single-handedly outscore Steph Curry and Klay Thompson in this one. That's all I'm going to say.
That's strong.
Gordon had
yes.
what? Yeah, he had 26, 27. Curry and Thompson
27.
24 combined. And again, you talk about the role players. I mean, Ariza, Tucker, and Gordon for Houston. 24 points in Game 1, 68 points in Game 2. So you have that trio stepping up and all 3 of them playing well. You had Steph Curry and Klay Thompson both having off games. Lo and behold, Rockets blowout over Golden State in Game 2. Now, that way they lead by as many as 29 in that contest. That was then. This is now. Houston, they haven't been dogs very often this year, only 7 times all season. They only covered twice in those 7 games. One of them, though, opening night against Golden State. Remember that game when they rallied back from way behind to get the win in the final couple of minutes? Obviously, that was forever ago. I'm not looking at that as a indicator of what we can expect tonight. But from a market perspective, Houston in this role has been very, very rare. When they've been in it, they haven't played particularly well.
Well, you heard Kerr after the first quarter of Game 2. Bob Myers said the same thing. The silly turnovers. And for whatever reason, when they play well, the next game they turn it over. Who can beat the Warriors? The Warriors. And that was ugly in Game 2. Also, they have no answer for Durant. So if they get Curry and Thompson going, there's not much you can do. I mean, it's a total mismatch if Chris Paul winds up on him. And I don't see Capella getting a lot of minutes now the rest of the series. I wouldn't play Mbah Moute. I'm done. He's missed a ton of layups. He's been terrible. So I don't think D'Antoni might. And now these games are every other day now once we get into Game 3. So he doesn't have a lot of guys that can't play Anderson. Capella's not getting a lot of minutes. Can't play Mbah Moute. What's he going to do? Green's a good energy guy, but who knows if his shot's falling as well. So he might only be able to trust maybe 7 guys in these games. But cut out on the turnovers, and we'll see if Curry finally gets going shooting the ball, and maybe the home cooking will help. But they definitely have to cut out on the turnovers too.
Well, it's funny because we look at Toronto was a great regular season team. Why were they a great regular season team? Because of their depth. Their bench was a meaningful factor in the regular season. In the postseason, didn't matter one iota. So here are the Rockets, great regular season team. And you see the rotations in the postseason, much shorter. The bench, much less production. Why were they so good all year long? Because they had so many guys who could fill different roles. Now here it is for the series that this roster was built for, and D'Antoni doesn't have quite as many options. It certainly feels that way. Now, we've seen in the first 2 games, certainly Game 1, the 3-point shooting was even, but the role play, all 3 of Golden State's big 3 stepped up, and basically no one except for Harden for Houston stepped up. In Game 2 was the opposite. It was the Rockets draining threes, their role players stepping up, and Golden State not getting the production from their key guys. Now the series shifts to Golden State. We know that Houston's been good on the highway here in the postseason. They haven't been laying down to anyone, and they just got a nice little measure of confidence with a win they absolutely had to have by a margin that I think they needed. And we've got the Steph Curry question. How healthy is Curry? Curry has not shot the ball well since his first game back. And with Curry at less than 100%, all of a sudden Houston seems a little bit more interesting, a little bit more live in this series than perhaps we might have thought after game one. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the games.